A homegrown company has come up with what just may be a better way to repair tissue after surgery by gluing it together. Cohera Medical's TissuGlu is already approved for use in Europe, and now the Pittsburgh-based company has received FDA approval for clinical trials in the United States. Cohera is another of our region's fast-growing medical device companies, an industry that got its start here a generation ago with companies like Respironics and Medrad. Patrick Daly is president and CEO of Cohera Medical, and Eric Beckman, PhD, is founder and senior scientist. And welcome. Good to have you both here.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks. Good to be here.
All right, let's start very basically. What exactly is TissuGlu?
Well, I'll let Eric get into the technical stuff, but basically what TissuGlu is, it's a non-toxic adhesive. So we joke it's Gorilla Glue for inside the body. It's biodegradable and safe, and you can glue planes of tissue together.
And where did this come from?
Well, the genesis was in my lab at the University of Pittsburgh, and I have to give credit to my co-founder, Michael Buckley, who's an oral and maxillofacial surgeon. I had no idea at the time that surgeons didn't have a useful adhesive. I couldn't conceive of the fact that I could go to Home Depot and buy one of 400 different kinds of glues. How can a surgeon not have a glue available? And Michael set me straight, and it was something that was really a side aspect to a project we were working on, and hence the idea was born.
So without a glue, it's like all clamps and stitches and stuff like that to try to hold things together while they're working?
Well, in reality, they use nothing now. They actually use these barbaric things called post-surgical drains that are tubes that are between the two layers of tissue, and they have kind of a large plastic ball that sticks out of your body, and it kind of takes the fluid out.
So even though they've sewed you up, there's still stuff inside that's not fully attached or healed together.
Correct.
So what? There's liquid that's building up in there and has to be drained out somehow.
It has to eventually come out of your body somehow, and so that's what the drains are for.
Okay, so how does your technology sort of solve that problem?
Well, think of it as like little liquid tacks. You know, we've got the two planes of tissue, and if we can hold them closely together for just a little bit, the body will start its natural healing process. The planes will grow together, healing takes over, and we eliminate the dead space and the fluid. So the glue's job is to hold things there strongly for really not that long of a period of time before the body takes over. So that's really its job.
Okay, and so then so the potential market for this, considering the amount of surgery that's being done worldwide, has to be enormous.
Well, for TissuGlu in particular, what kind of interested our investors and other people that are in this space is the fact that right now we estimate it's between $700 and $800 million worldwide. So the product that really gets us interested too is one that's also a derivative off of TissuGlu, which is a bowel sealant that we have kind of in the process of getting into our clinical trials, and that's about a $3.5 billion space.
And so that gets used with people that are having bowel surgery of one kind or another?
Yeah, anytime there's surgery and you've removed bowel tissue, there are devices now that can place the two ends together and really staple them closed again. And you have a staple line around. But in a small number of those cases, there's leakage. And what you're talking about now is leakage of bowel contents into the body cavity.
Huge infection potential with that.
Infection and potentially death. And so what we would have is material that you could put on this suture or staple line that would prevent leaks.
So this technology developed here in our region is already being used all over Europe?
We went commercial about a little over a year ago, and we have the CE mark approval for all of Europe, but we focused in particular in Germany right now. So we have a team of 6 people over there, and we have a team of about 29 to 30 here in the U.S.
Oh, pretty cool. And what, clinical trials now here in the United States?
We're doing 2 parts. We have one clinical trial that we started last summer and completed, and we're doing a second one which we think is really going to change the business, and that is we are going to eliminate the need for post-surgical drains. So that study kicks off in a matter of weeks here, and we're real excited about it.
Well, you do have an advantage, I think, for your investors too. You'll know pretty quickly whether this works. I think about the people in the pharmaceutical business where it can take years and years and years to know if they're on the right track.
That's right.
So this time to market with this type of a technology, if you've really solved a problem, would seem to be a lot shorter than other life sciences companies.
It is. Medical device tends to be much quicker than pharmaceutical, but I think it's still not as quick as we'd like it to be. I mean, there is still a disparity between what goes on for the CE mark versus the U.S. clinical trial. It's still relatively slow here.
Oh, okay. So interesting. So are you still growing at the upper, you're on the north side of Pittsburgh, right?
We are, yeah. So we've continued. We were, from the beginning, we were not necessarily as worried about headcount as we were about milestones, and I think that's been one of the keys to our success. Is Eric and I joke in the beginning that we hired a lot of Swiss Army knives, people that can do multiple things, as opposed to worrying about having a large number of people. But now that we're a commercial company, we've had to bring on additional people because we are sending product, overseas to be used in surgery.
You mentioned the basic research that made this possible. Pittsburgh, a good place to be building a business like this?
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, you need certain things to move these forward, and one of them is technical talent. And to say there's not other types of talent you need a spectrum of talent, but when it comes to technical talent with all of the universities here, we've got it in droves. And so it is nice. The other thing is this is going to sound mundane, but there is space here. It's not like you're in downtown Boston or Palo Alto where the space the size of this table would run us 50 grand a year. I mean, there's space to be had here. So there are some of the pieces in place already that you need to start something up.
Yeah, and I would add, I think one of the things we've done from the very beginning is, I'm new to Pittsburgh. I came here when Eric and I met to start the business. I think Pittsburgh's got a lot more going for it than sometimes people give it credit. And we've recruited, of the 20-something people, 28 people that are here in our home office, I think close to half have come from Boston, Florida, New York, New Jersey, all over. And we try to do it the right way. We recruit the trailing spouse. We show them the benefits of Pittsburgh. This city's got a lot to offer, and I think they love it once they get here.
Well, that's great to hear. Well, congratulations. Really exciting company. Terrific to hear how the U.S. trials all turn out. Cohera Medical, thank you both so much.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
And when we return, a moment that's been years in the making, a restored Point State Park and its signature fountain. Stay with us.